YouTube, what is going on now? It's me, Gabriel Nagle here, founder of WBFC, Weather Buddies Forecasting Central, and go ahead and introduce yourself real quickly, Tyler.
This is Tyler Sidnick, co-founder of Weather Buddies Forecasting Central.
And today we are going to talk about we'll probably do a little bit of a U.S. forecast, and we're also going to talk about today and tomorrow's severe outbreaks. Let's get started with the video, shall we? So, really quickly, the reason why this video was uploaded a little bit later than we expected is because we were having some technical difficulties trying to get the video out there. So, but here it is. We're going to go ahead and present this. A wet and stormy week and severe weather possible for the southern Great Plains. Be weather ready and aware. By the way, today's date, May 15th, May 15th, 2021. Let's move on to the next slide now. So, on slide 1 of the of today's, basically this is today's forecast. Well, this is tomorrow's on this particular forecast, but on slide 1, we got a little bit of thunderstorm activity, really primarily focused on, let me think here, really mostly in Texas, but we got some thunderstorms showing up in Colorado near Denver. We got some thunderstorm activity showing up in the Sierra Nevada and the Nevada mountain ranges. A little bit of the Sierra Nevada, I should be saying. And then we got a nice complex of thunderstorms developing right along here. By the way, these videos are these slides are done every 6 p.m. every day, so that way the time and stuff like that is correct, and that way we make sure the uploading times are valid. So again, this is 6 p.m. Sunday, and this is worth noting because this is, even though this is technically tomorrow's, we are seeing some thunderstorms in West Texas, on the border of Texas and New Mexico. And primarily that's going to be the area to watch tomorrow. Also, a little bit of activity may be right in here. Not really showing up much on this particular model, which is the GFS, but they are calling for possible stormy conditions in central Texas in the Red River Valley tomorrow. Moving on to the next slide now. So this is where things start to spell interesting things. So for Monday, May 17th, you got a potential nice looking complex of storms, really in the tri-state area. So really, Iowa, Missouri. I'm trying to think here, and well, parts of Nebraska too, and parts of Kansas. So again, areas worth watching here are for Monday are, again, Iowa, really along this tri-state region right here. So, again, really along these borders. The borders of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri are the areas to watch. Okay? But other than that, going down in east central Oklahoma, and also looking at really the southern tip of Texas and Louisiana right there, near, I can't remember the name of the cities in that area, so please forgive me, but near some of those cities in that area of southeastern Texas, really closer to the Louisiana border. Corpus Christi, is that right, Tyler? I think Corpus Christi is right there in southeastern Texas.
I think so.
Okay, yeah, in the Corpus Christi area, and also there's another city I know that's in that area. I just don't remember the name of it by heart. All right, well, so guys, the highlighted areas to watch are, again, that tri-state area, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, and parts of Missouri. I'm trying to get my names straight, but I cannot get my names. I can't keep up with my thoughts today. We've had a lot going on this morning, so we apologize for the inconvenience. Again, so east central Oklahoma, and again, they're in Corpus Christi region. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So things start to get a little bit interesting in the western tier of the Great Plains again. So basically in really far southern parts of Colorado, and far northeastern parts of New Mexico, right along the Colorado-New Mexican border. We're also watching here in northeastern Louisiana, right there heading towards Mississippi. Again, these thunderstorms are going to fall apart as they kind of reach these areas. And then there's a nice little complex there in central Illinois. So, again, worth watching and worth seeing where these storms are going to end up going. Okay, so here's where things start to get really interesting. So you have this nice complex of storms right here in the Dallas area of Texas and the lower Red River Valley of, really along the Oklahoma and Texas border right there. Well, this complex of storms is, I believe, is going to go kind of in a east-southeasterly direction. So we got to keep an eye on this complex of storms. In Dallas, for Wednesday, May 19th, be careful because this is a powerful complex that's going to be developing. But this is not just one day of this complex that's just going to not really going to move much. It's not going to move much, but it's really going to move towards the southeast and south-southeasterly direction. This complex is really going to move kind of slow, so flood threat is going to be high with these particular storms. Okay, moving on to the next slide here. Okay, so here's where this complex of storms can become actually pretty dangerous. There could be some potential hail embedded with these. A lot of lightning definitely is a possibility, and a lot of flooding. So Corpus Christi, watch out. Southern parts of Texas, watch out. And Houston, Texas, you really got to be careful. So watch out there in Houston. This is a massive complex and it's heading in your guys' direction. And this is coming up on Thursday of this upcoming week. So please be careful. Please take weather safety and weather awareness ready. And please prepare yourselves for these massive storms. Moving on to the next slide. So there's an area to watch here, and this is like, I didn't mention this, Tyler, but there's an actual kind of some type of tropical entity trying to develop in the Gulf of Mexico or the Caribbean. This is worth watching, you guys, because this is going to turn into at least right now it's worth watching, because it's going to turn to tropical low, and it's going to kind of boomerang and head towards Alabama, in kind of the Mississippi area, and it's really going to stop in Tennessee and kind of circle a little bit and then dissipate. So yeah, like I said, there is the tropical entity showing up right there, so we have to watch out for that. And also a couple little bit of interesting activity going on here. And look at this, guys, snow in the Sierra Nevada. By the way, that's going to be interesting for this time of year, right, Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be snow in the Sierra Nevada this year. That's going to be quite interesting. Also in the Columbia Basin as well. Might be seeing some possible shots of snow as well. So again, and then there's also going to be some really embedded thunderstorm activity across Colorado and New Mexico worth watching. Also, where they really need it the most is Minnesota, the Dakotas, and really, Iowa's been getting some storms lately, so that's good. And parts of Wisconsin, and they also need it going down towards Iowa. So, really through Michigan into Iowa. And Michigan really needs it because they are in pretty much a strap of drought right now, and it's not good. Also, there's a nice little complex of storms there in north central Montana. Moving on now to the next slide. Let me clear that out. Alright, I think this is the last slide. Yeah, this is the last slide. So this is on Saturday. Okay, so primarily going to focus on the dry line setting up right here. It's going to set up right along east central New Mexico and kind of move towards Texas. These complex of thunderstorms are probably most likely more of a weak flood threat than more than anything. And check this out. Check this out, Tyler. Snow in most of Oregon and a lot of snow in Nevada and also in the Sierra Nevada of California. That is interesting. What do you think?
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
This time of year.
Yeah, it is, and especially for this time of year.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that one, buddy. Alright, moving on to the SPC Outlooks now. Now, these were made handcrafted by me, and by me only. So here's my first SPC Outlook, and this is today's, by the way. And as you can tell, the slight risk, I did put in here only a slight risk, because I think really it's not going to get any worse than that. I think it's just going to be a slight risk. Now, where could these thunderstorms start? Well, primarily right along the border of Texas and New Mexico, and just slightly head east. And then they're going to kind of fall apart as they hit towards Oklahoma, Kansas, and eastern parts of Texas. And really when they get towards Arkansas, Missouri, and stuff like that, they're going to really fall apart. So I put a slight risk down for Amarillo, Texas. Oklahoma City will be worth watching. Dodge City, Kansas, and Lubbock, Texas are areas to be worth watching today. So any of you guys live in those areas, please take weather safety and weather awareness ready. And please be safe and be cautious when you hear thunder to go indoors. And also when you start to see a possibility of a tornado, or you get a confirmed tornado warning in your area, please take precautionary measures. And there's also a marginal risk for really a lot of our Utah, and the reason for this is because the center of that upper level disturbance, which was on that satellite imagery, is showing up here. I actually did not show you guys the satellite imagery yet, but I will be showing that here at the very last of this video. There is an upper level disturbance really primarily focused in right here in the Sierra in the Nevada region. But this thing's going to be moving across towards Utah throughout the day. And the reason why, again, there's a marginal risk in this area because of upper level support with this low pressure system, right, Tyler? There's going to be upper level support with the system. Moving on to the next slide. Here is tomorrow's SPC Outlook. Nothing to really worry about. Just a couple of areas of marginal risk. Really, Oklahoma City is going to be in on that again. Kansas City, Missouri, I should be saying, is going to be in slight to marginal risk. Really, the rest. If you're wondering what this green area is, basically that's the general thunderstorm risk. So let's move on to the Cape values next, because those have lowered significantly since. And excuse the loud table. It's just my arm rubbing against the table there. Let's move on to the Cape next, because that I think is more important for these SPC outlooks. Where are we likely going to see the worst of thunderstorm activity today? Well, again, right there in the really panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, and parts of southern, south central, western Texas there. So, again, that's for today, and the Cape values are only going to really be reading between 1,200 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. So again, let's keep an eye on that, and let's go on to the next slide. This is our last slide to show, and this is for tomorrow, but these do go up significantly for tomorrow. Again, even though my risk has been dropped significantly, because this is going to change dramatically. Even though these Cape values are higher, they're between 2,400 and 2,900. These Cape values could change dramatically within the next 24 hours. So, but see, where I see this more severe weather happening is probably most likely again in northeastern Texas, the Red River Valley, and Oklahoma City areas. And again, it won't be too bad tomorrow. Again, you're just likely going to get a marginal risk out of this. But let's still keep an eye on this, and we'll be uploading another video tomorrow to keep you updated. And Tyler, go ahead and explain yourself about not being on tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing the video myself tomorrow. Because of
What? Oh.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm not going to be on tomorrow. He's going to be doing the video himself.
Yeah, and not only that, his mom's going to be home tomorrow, and his family, like you've heard in our first video, makes a lot of noise, so.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go ahead and show you the upper level disturbance on satellite imagery. This satellite imagery, by the way, is a little bit outdated. It's an hour late, but that's because we were an hour late on creating the video. Okay, let's look at the satellite imagery here. So, as you can tell, there are some nice complex of thunderstorms growing in the southern tip of Texas. There's that upper level disturbance, really starting, was probably just over Nevada right now. Right about now, over central Nevada. And this thing's supposed to make its way across Utah, Colorado, and then start to kind of go through Kansas. And once it gets through Kansas, it's going to start kind of diving southward. And then it's going to kind of make a trajectory in central Texas, and then it's going to make another trajectory and turn, and go through Louisiana, again, through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and it's going to go through between Tennessee and North Carolina, and it's going to kind of just go up from there and kind of fall apart. Again, there is an area of tropical weather in this area that was showing up in the models. It's worth watching, and again in the Caribbean and in the Gulf of Mexico. So we got to keep an eye on that together, because there's a potential tropical storm that's going to come. It's going to form in about a few days from now. It's going to form really right there in the Caribbean area, and it's going to kind of take a track like this. And this is worth watching because this thing could get stronger as it develops. Wait, I'm doing that backwards. So this thing could potentially develop right over here and then spin out over Tennessee for about a day and then completely fall apart by the time it enters the Carolinas. Again, worth watching. So, if you guys like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys like the weather-related content, please go ahead and feel free and go ahead and feel free and give the video a thumbs up again and subscribe to our channel. We do awesome related weather content. Go ahead and give me your thoughts real quick, Tyler, on what you think about today's Spc Outlooks.
I think the Spc Outlooks are confident what the models are showing.
Okay, so just in case you guys didn't hear him too well, he basically said the Spc Outlooks are very confident in what they're showing. Again, we apologize for some of the issues with the audio. We will work on that in the long run. But yes, I agree with you on that one, Tyler. I agree that the confidence is pretty high. I'd say between 75 and 85%. What do you say?
I think that's right about there too.
Alrighty. Well, guys, hope you love this. I hope you really like this video. And again, one last time I want to say this: please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and share the video with your family and friends. All right, you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll be talking to you tomorrow. Peace and bye.